Hey everybody, it's Pinky live from the Junos. We have stopped in to interview my friend and client. You may recognize him. He's Brett T. Williams, and we're going to find out first of all what the T stands for. He's a third generation musician, and the T will give you a hint. So Brett, let's start off with, what does the T stand for?
Trouble.
No, I think I gave you that T, and that's not what I gave you the T for. So what does T stand for?
Stands for the name Tippe.
Tippe.
Yeah.
So some of our younger viewers may not know Tippe, but I think a lot of people still do.
Their parents might.
Their parents might.
Yeah, their parents might know Rick Tippe, who happens to be my uncle. Young people's grandparents would know my grandfather, Elmer. So coming from that family, that's where that T comes from. It's my way of paying tribute to them.
And paying tribute to them. So for those of you that don't know, Elmer is a CCMA.
NBCCMA Hall of Famer, and he's in 4 different Western Swing Hall of Fames in the States, and he's in every Hall of Fame there is.
And your Uncle Rick was quite well known, wasn't he?
He was probably, I call him, he was the innovator to allow independent artists to, get played on radio and become, be able to get heard. He was one of the first that did it in Canada, and, he had, I think, 30 top 40 hits and 13 videos on CMT, and he's in the BCCMA Hall of Fame. So, I call him an innovator when it comes to music. Yeah.
And I kind of like him because he kind of had the hair thing.
Oh, he had the Billy Ray Cyrus hair going.
Yeah. So you grew up around music.
Yep.
And that led to your first sort of career, which was with your brother.
Well, I actually started before that. I'm sitting here holding a guitar, but my first instrument I learned how to play was the fiddle. And I used to go up with my grandfather with his band when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old and get up and play with them. And then later on, my brother and I formed our band, the Johnson Brothers, and we had a really good 15-year run. And but all good things have to come to an end sometimes, and it was time, and now we're here.
So in that 15 years, you opened and played with some pretty big names?
We shared stages with guys like Dirk Bentley, Chris Young, Charlie Daniels, Cord Bamford. Cord actually ended up coming to a gig we did in Merritt once and got up stage. He wanted to steal our guitar player.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was like, "This guy's good. Where did he come from?" Yeah, so we got to do a lot of fun stuff.
And now you have just released your first solo single.
My first solo single, yes. The one thing I've never done before was doing something on my own, and I figured, you know what, I wanted a new challenge, so I figured this was the best thing to do.
And now this solo single was written by a very long time friend of yours. You guys go back 15 years or so.
We first met at the Merritt Mountain Music Festival in 2002.
So let's let people in on who that guy is. He's known for a song that I kind of really like. It was my past history as a drummer, so that might give you a little bit of a hint.
I call him Mr. Lonely Drum.
Mr. Lonely Drum. So if you haven't picked up yet, he just was on tour with somebody else.
With Cord Bamford.
Cord Bamford. Yeah. Anybody guessing yet?
Aaron Goodvin.
Aaron Goodvin. Yes, yeah. My neighbor's cousin. There you go, Linda. Linda Cross, my neighbor. Yes, it's your cousin. So yes, you wrote it, or he wrote it.
I didn't write it. I wish I did.
Yes.
I wish I did, but he co-wrote it with 2 other gentlemen in Nashville, Matt Jenkins and Damian Horn. And Erin and I go back, like I said, we met in 2002 at the Merritt Mountain Music Festival, and we stayed in contact. When he came out here in 2004, he recorded his first EP, and he ended up staying with us. And him and I wrote my first song I ever wrote. I co-wrote with him. It'll never get heard.
Yeah.
The song sucks. I don't want to ruin Aaron's career, and any career I'm going to have, I don't want to ruin it. It'll never get heard. But,
so have you heard? It will never get heard.
Yeah. When one of the lines is, "Do you believe in love at first sight, or do I have to walk by one more time?" That should tell you enough. Yeah, it won't get heard. Yeah. So yeah, we stayed in touch, and then this year he was out at the BCCMAs, and I managed to hook up with him at Gabby's, and we got to talking.
I'm going to stop him there. They did not hook up. I was out with them that night. They hung out. They had a beer. We all hung out.
Okay.
Aaron is happily married. This boy is happily engaged. They did not hook up.
We reconnected. Is that a better word? We reconnected.
Yes, that's why I help him with his media.
At Gabby's, and we were talking, and I told him what I was planning with the solo career, and he was like, "Oh, you can let me know how it goes out." And when we were looking for songs, I just sent him a message saying, we're looking for some songs. He sent me about a dozen of them, and there was 2 that we really liked, and Heard It Here First is the first single.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, on that note, would you play that song for us? And then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions after you give us maybe a piece of that song.
I'll give a sneak peek of it.
Yeah, that would be great.
We just released an acoustic version of it today, so I'll kind of play a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Shopping, driving, I hope they check on a little bit of stone. The only thing left to do is get you all alone. Way out here in this winding road, gold country, west of mountain, south of it, see where don't they honey? A piece of heaven on this riverbank dirt. I love you, girl, and you heard it here first. I love you, girl, and you heard it here first. I love you.
That was great.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's called Heard It Here First.
Heard It Here First.
And so what's next after this? You're going to be releasing some more, you hope?
We have about 15 songs in the can right now to pick from. Just over the last year and a half, writing and downloading and getting in the studio and getting the bed tracks down. So we have a lot, in the can that we can pick from. We're hoping more of a summertime song for the next one, because it's going to be that time of year. We want people to roll their windows down, crank their radio up loud, and let their hair fly in the wind. Yeah.
So in the meantime, you can request Heard It Here First at radio.
It is at radio across Canada, so wherever you live, call. Well, if you're old school, call. If you're not, tweet, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Your local country station and request Heard It Here First, because they do have it.
And also, you can follow this guy. He's got a website at
BrettWilliamsMusic.com.
His Facebook at
BT Williams Music.
Isn't it Brett T? No, his Facebook is Brett T. Williams.
Brett T. Williams. See, this is why, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm helping him.
And the other ones are BT Williams Music, I think.
Yes,
that's
what his Twitter is.
Twitter and Instagram.
And Instagram.
Yeah.
So go follow this guy. We're going to be seeing a lot more of him. The apple did not fall far from the tree, as we can see. And we'll be keeping an eye on him.
Awesome.
I've talked to some of the radio stations. What's really cool about this song, too, is that you did the production on it, too, didn't you?
I did. We did the drums and the bass tracks at Studio Down Under in Abbotsford, and everything else was done right here where we're sitting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
it was all, all the production was done by myself. I have to give a shout out to Paul Chateau for mixing it, because that guy, is a genius. I like to call him Yoda, because he's, a genius when it comes to mixing.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. And,
well, thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. And watch Black Mountain, actually, guys, and Music in New Directions, as we'll be bringing you some more videos and pictures and everything from the Junos. And follow this guy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This is Pinky and her friend and client, Brett T. Williams. We'll see you soon.
Ciao.